Okay, we're laying out our oak door for our 18-inch oak wall cabinet. And right now I'm setting up on the shaper. I'm setting up to cut all of our rails. We like to cut our rails first. Our rails have to be cut to length exactly. And the length with this particular bit that we're going to be using, we're using the cope and stick that we talked about. And this will give you 3/8 of an inch on each side is what that joint cuts out. So whatever your rail ends up being, you have to add 3/4 of an inch so that can go in, so the stick can go into the cope, and then the total width of your door will be correct. I typically like to leave my rails a little bit long, maybe a 1/16, maybe even an 1/8 long, which makes your door wider. And then after the door is all put together and glued up, we can run it over the side. We can run that over the joiner once to knock it down to the exact dimension that we need. We decided to go with an inset door, which is a little bit more difficult than an overlay door. And the final dimension of my inset door is 13.5 wide by 25.5 tall. So what I ended up with, I have 2 1/4 inch stiles and rails. So 2 1/4 and 2 1/4 is 4.5. 13.5 minus 4.5 gives me 9. And then I added the 3/4 here. So that's what I have here on these rails. These are 9 3/4. And as you can see, I just have them a little bit heavy, about a 1/16 of an inch heavy. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing my rail cuts. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one to show you how we do it. I've already got my shaper set up and it's spinning in the proper direction. And I've got my jig set up to go here. We'll go ahead and run this next rail and get that done. And then I'll show you how they come together and make the stiles nice clean joint. Okay, usually when I run this, I do have my guard going across here. I wanted to have everybody be able to see what's going on with that. Remember, this shaper can be reversed too, so it'll spin this way, and then when we go to do our stiles, we'll actually have it spinning the other way. So there's my rail cut right there, and here's going to be what my stile cut is going to look like. And I just have these to test it every now and then. And we're coming together very nicely on that. Now I can go ahead and set up the, I'll have to change these cutters over. I still use the same exact cutters, I just use them in a little bit different fashion. They have to be flipped over, and like I said, they're going to be now pointing this way, so that my stiles will actually be fed in. I'll be feeding my stiles in this way to complete that cut all the way around. And that's the cope and stick on the shaper. And I'll be changing this over, and then we'll run our stiles. Once our stiles are run, we'll be able to clamp it together and get a good measurement for what our panel is going to be. This is going to just be a flat panel door, and we'll go with a 1/4 inch oak flat panel to wrap everything up. So let me change this over, and then we can run our stiles and get a fit on everything.